Imagine tasting delicious, rich custard with a layer of hard, sweet caramelized sugar on top while at a fancy restaurant with your friends. How it melts in your mouth and how your spoon cracks into the top of the dessert. Now picture being able to make that delicious dessert in the comfort of your own home. Today, I'm here to inform the audience of fellow COM 110 students about how to make simple 3-ingredient creme brulee. I will discuss obtaining the ingredients, making the magic happen, and completing all the finishing touches. Now, we will move on to discuss my main points. First, I'd like to discuss some ingredients that one will need to obtain to make this delicious creme brulee. The 3 ingredients needed are vanilla ice cream, 2 egg yolks, and sugar. These ingredients are according to a story by Rye McCleany titled 3-Ingredient Easy Creme Brulee Recipe on Tasty.com, and that was accessed on March 10th at 2:23 p.m. What is nice about these ingredients is how simple they are, and one most likely already has them at their home and they won't have to go out and buy them. One also needs to make sure they have 1 or more ramekins, which look like this. You also need to have a whisk, and then you need to have a pan that is able, your ramekin can fit in that pan, and an oven. I've just discussed my first main point, the ingredients and materials needed for easy at-home creme brulee. Next, I will discuss how to make the creme brulee. Once finished, we will have a delicious, elegant custard with a hard caramelized top that one can crack with our spoon. This description of creme brulee goes along with the story by Danielle Alfaro titled Creme Brulee, the Simple and Elegant Custard on thespruceeats.com, accessed on March 10th at 3:01 p.m. Every recipe is a little bit different, but this is the one that I have found the best and easiest. One could also make creme brulee by scratch instead, or use a recipe that may take a little bit longer because you wouldn't be using ice cream, you'd be mixing the cream and other stuff like that. A good from scratch recipe that I found though is on sallysbakingaddiction.com by Unknown titled Easy Creme Brulee, accessed on March 10th, 2021 at 3:39 p.m. So the steps for this one are very simple. One will first preheat their oven to 325. Then you should scoop a generous amount of ice cream into a bowl that you can microwave. And so you'll microwave in 30-second intervals until the ice cream is completely melted. Should look something like this. Then you'll need 1 egg yolk for every serving or ramekin that you're making. So for this example, I'm making 2 servings, so I'll use 2 egg yolks. So you will drop the egg yolks one by one into your ramekin, into your ice cream mixture, and then you're going to want to whisk that together till it's combined. So you'll do that for both of them. So once you have this mixture fully combined, you're going to take your 2 ramekins, or just 1 or more if you're making more than that, and you're just going to pour that mixture into your ramekins. So once you've done this, you're going to take your ramekins and put them in that pan that you had, and make sure that your ramekins can fit into the pan, and you're going to pour your water into that pan. You should have hot water. And you're just going to set your ramekins in there. And then once your oven is preheated, which mine is, you're going to put the ramekins, put that pan with the ramekins into the oven carefully. And then you're going to bake them for 40 to 50 minutes. I've just discussed my second main point, how to physically make the creme brulee. I'd like to finish up by discussing how to complete some finishing touches on the creme brulee. Some information from a story titled Perfect Classic Creme Brulee by Karen Rubin on KarenRubin.com, which was accessed on March 11th, 2021 at 10:23 a.m., involving some final things one must do to complete their creme brulee. So first, you will let the ramekins cool to room temperature. So this is an example of one that's been cooled to room temperature. And then once it's cooled to room temperature, you're going to cover the ramekin with plastic wrap. And then after you've covered it, you're going to place that ramekin in the refrigerator. And so you're going to leave them in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours is what I normally do, or just until you're ready to eat them. They should last in there for a couple of days. And then when you're ready to enjoy them, you're going to take your sugar, normally about 1 tablespoon for each serving, and you're either going to pour it over the creme brulee and torch it if you have like a kitchen torch, so it melts. If you don't have a torch, which I do not, then the easiest way for me to do it is to caramelize the sugar in a small pan. And you want to make sure that you stir that very often so it doesn't burn. And then once it's a liquid in your pan, you're going to pour it over the creme brulee and the ramekins. And so what I normally do is I have like a little spatula like this and like a smaller pan, and you're going to pour your sugar in there, about 1 tablespoon, and then continue to stir it until it's the liquid, and then you're going to pour it over. Should look something like this. This is when the sugar has already been caramelized on top. Once the sugar is hardened on your creme brulee, you can now eat it. And then now for the best part, you're going to take a spoon and you're going to hit the hard layer on top. It will break and you'll be able to see the delicious custard underneath, and then you can enjoy the masterpiece you've just made. At fancy restaurants, they also sometimes put fruit on top, so if you want, you can do that as well. I usually don't. According to StonewoodGrill.com, in a story titled On Creme Brulee Day, Digging into Dessert History by Unknown, accessed on March 11, 2021 at 10:28 a.m., creme brulee has been around since 1691, and it was first introduced in a cookbook by a French man. It is amazing to see how far along this delicious dessert has been around. I've just discussed my third and final main point, the finishing touches on the dessert. I've just discussed 3 different main points: the ingredients and materials needed for creme brulee, how to make your dessert, and some finishing touches. Now go enjoy your elegant dessert from the comfort of your own home. The first time I had this dessert was in Chicago at an amazing restaurant with my family, and now I make it at home for us all the time. We love it, and I hope you do too. So I will crack the creme brulee just so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. And it's the best part, so I had to show it.